Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today we will learn about Bapsi Sidhwa's IceCandy Man. Bapsi Sidhwa was born on 11th August 1938. She is a Pakistani novelist, born to Parsi Zoroastrian parents, Pashtun and Tahmina Bhandra. She was born in Karachi. She married at the age of 19 and moved to Mumbai for 5 years. Later on, she got divorced and remarried in Lahore with Nausher, who is her present husband, and he is also Zoroaster by his religion. They both have 3 children, and before beginning his career as an author, and now currently she resides in Houston, America. Bapsi Sidhwa, describes herself as a Parsi Punjabi writer. Her first language is Gujarati, her second language is Urdu, and her third language is English. She can read and write best in English, but is more comfortable talking in Gujarati or Urdu and often translates literally from Gujarati or Urdu to English. As far as IceCandy Man is concerned, when we read IceCandy Man, the story begins with a partition from the perspective of Lani. Lani is 4 years old, and the whole novel is narrated through her eyes. I mean, the scenes of the political events, the partition, and the violence. Everything is portrayed from the eyes and the perspective of Lani. Lani is a very smart young girl who is sick with polio. Her family is upper middle class and lives in a fairly good area of Lahore. Lani's family is basically a tight-knit family composed of her mom, her dad, her brother Adi, her aunt, cousin, and grandmother. One of the most important characters of this novel is godmother, who is very helping throughout the novel. And the godmother sister, she also resides with the family of Lani. There is also a colorful cast of domestic workers, which includes the cook Imamdeen, a gardener, a family of untouchables. I believe everybody knows that the Shudras, they were considered untouchable in Hinduism, who works as sweeper and do the odd jobs. And the house also includes a nanny. Lani is very close to her nanny Aya. Aya is a local word which means a caretaker, and Lani knows about the world through the eyes of Aya or Shanta. Aya had 18 admirers from the different religious communities. These suitors include a cook, a masood, a zoo attendant, a knife sharpener, and a money lender, and a popsicle seller known as IceCandy Man. They all are admirers of Aya. And this group includes Muslims, Sikhs, and Hindus. Lani gets insight into different religions and cultures that make up India before partition through Aya's suitors and Aya's admirers. Aya's love life also introduces Lani to sexuality. She begins to understand the sexual power the woman can hold, but also the many ways the men control and hurt women. Lani also describes her problem with polio and many surgeries and doctor visits she must endure. She loves her parent but is always craving more for the attention of the father. Lani enjoys visiting the house of her godmother, who is always arguing with her younger sibling known as slave sister. The historical events keep on shifting in this novel. They are constantly influence Lani's private as well as domestic life. When the novel begins, there is a news that the World War II is over. India will still be a British colony, sided with the Allies against Germany, Italy, and Japan. Once the war is over, people begin wondering what will happen to India. India leaders like Mahatma Gandhi and Muhammad Ali Jinnah have been pushing for Indian independence from the British and self-rule. Gandhiji visits Lahore and Lani gets the chance to meet him. Like the adults, she begins to wonder what will happen to India when the Britishers are going to leave their continent. Lani begins to better understand the relations between different religious groups when she visits the countryside with her family's Muslim cook Imamdin. They go to Pir Pindo, a village 40 miles from Lahore, to visit his family. There Lenny witnesses Sikhs and Muslims who have been neighbors for centuries. They all were worried due to rumors of violence but promises to protect one another. When she visits again later, however, she sees that Sikhs have begun threatening the Muslim villager and those who are escaping. In the city, things were also changing. Lani begins seeing the people around her less as individual and more as people belonging to separate religious communities. Aya is Hindu, as is the family gardener Hari. Imam Deen and the odd job man Yusuf are Muslim. So much are IceCandy man and Aya's favorite suitor Masoor. The zookeeper Sher Singh is Sikh. Each group has its own way of dressing, eating, and worshipping. As the relationship between these communities gets worse, Lenny becomes more and more aware of their differences. When a Sikh political and religious leader visits the city and threatens the Muslim there, violence breaks out. People start lighting fires and killing each other. In 1948, the British officially left India and split the country into India and Pakistan. Overnight, Lahore became part of the new nation of Pakistan. Lady is mostly concerned that is happening on her birthday and that no one is paying attention to her. Lenny sees fire break out all over Lahore. One day, a train comes carrying Muslim refugees from India. IceCandy men find that they all have been murdered and mutilated. In revenge, IceCandy man joins the mob attacking Hindus and Sikhs or robbing their abandoned properties. Lenny sees that even former friends, including Aya's suitor, have revenge. IceCandy man joins the mob attacking Hindus and Sikhs or robbing their abandoned properties. Lenny sees that even former friends, including Aya's suitor, have turned to each other. Out of fear, the gardener Hari converts to Islam. Aya's favorite suitor, the gentle Masoor, is found hacked in half sack in the street. Meanwhile, the action switches perspective from the first time as a section narrates what happens to Imam Din's great-grandson Rana in the village of Pir Pindu. Group of Sikhs came and massacred everyone in the village. Women were raped. Rana is badly wounded and barely makes it alive to Pakistan. The story reaches a climax when a mob comes to Sethi's household. From their name, the mob assume that they are Hindus. Imam Din comes to protect the house and tells the angry man that this is a Parsi household. Yet the group wants to know what happened to the Hindu nanny, Aya. Aya goes to hide inside. Her suitor IceCandy man comes up to Lenny and asks, where is she hiding? Lenny, who has a bad habit of always telling the truth, whatever the consequences is. Lenny thinks that IceCandy man is a good person and he won't hurt Aya. Tells him the truth. IceCandy man and the group carry Aya away on a cart. After this, by the time Aya is kidnapped by IceCandy man and the group, Lenny enters a period of great regret and sadness. She attempts to find out what happens to Aya, but initially has no luck. When Aya gone, a Muslim woman named Hamida becomes her new Aya. Hamida was also kidnapped during the initial violence following partition. But she was also raped, and her husband, Hamida's husband, and family would not accept her back because she has been raped. One day, Lani's cousin spots Aya in a taxi with two thin men who look like poets. IceCandy man first made her work as a prostitute before marrying Aya and making her convert to Islam. Godmother wants to help Aya, who is now being called Mumtaz. First godmother invites IceCandy man over. He is now dressed as a poet and acts like a gentleman, reciting poetry and speaking politely. He claims he loves Aya and that he married her to protect her. Godmothers call IceCandy man a pimp and lowlife. Eventually, Godmother and Lenny were able to visit Aya in a brothel neighborhood of the city. Aya begs to leave, saying she will go to India even if her family there won't accept her. Eventually, Godmother convinces the police to free Aya, and she is taken to recovered women's camp near the city houses. IceCandy Man, transformed into the wronged lover, waits outside the camp for Aya. One day, Aya is finally transferred to India, and IceCandy Man escapes across the border after her. So this is the whole novel IceCandy Man by Bapsi Sidhwa.